Hi, and welcome to the Great Eurasian History Show. I'm your host, Lukas Prongos. Today we will be talking about the Mongols. More specifically, we will be covering how they spread peace and prosperity throughout their empire, as well as the exchange of goods, ideas, and connections across the Eurasian landmass. To begin, let's talk about the Pax Mongolica. In Latin, Pax Mongolica translates to the Mongolian peace. You may remember learning about the Pax Romana from the Roman Empire. These names share a similar meaning. The Pax Mongolica is defined as the relatively peaceful period in the 13th and 14th centuries, when the Mongols imposed their sovereignty over the lands of Asian landmass from the Black Sea to the Sea of Japan, between the Middle Ages of modernity, 94. From 1260 to 1368 CE, the Mongol Empire underwent a revolutionary period of cultural unity and stability. After expanding the empire through campaigns of conquest, the Mongols experienced positive changes in the cultural, political, economic, and social aspects of their society. This long period of time grew into many of things that we are very familiar with today, such as Russia, Korea, and some claim that they created international law. Now that you know more about the Mongols during this prosperous period, let's take it over to our first guest, Katie Sayers, an expert on the Mongolian trade of ideas and goods on the Silk Road. Hi Katie, how are you today?
I'm good, thank you.
So could you tell us a little bit about how the Mongols promoted the exchange of goods and ideas?
Of course, during the Pax Mongolica, Mongols valued trade and the exchange of goods and ideas. After the re-establishment of the Silk Road, merchants from all parts of Eurasia were able to travel to major trade centers in the Mongolian Empire. The Silk Road was the overland commercial route linking Western Eurasia and China. The main reason for the flourish of trade was the safe roads merchants could travel on. The security of trade routes attracted many merchants to exchange their goods and ideas. It was often stated that a maiden bearing a nugget of gold on her head could wander safely throughout the realm. The Mongols developed a post-relay system known as a yam. Stations were built along the roads to provide resources and accommodations for travelers, including horses. Florentine merchant Francesco Balducci Pagolotti stated that the road you travel from Tana to Cathaway is perfectly safe, whether by day or by night, according to what the merchants say who have used it. Merchants traveled faster and further using these routes, trading luxury and commercial goods. With this sudden increase in trade, prosperity came to the Mongol Empire, and Mongols created a positive economy.
Wow, the Mongols sure did like the idea of sharing different goods from various places. Could you also tell us how the Mongols spread ideas throughout their empire?
After completing brutal campaigns of conquest, the Mongols controlled territory stretching from Western Eurasia to East Asia, and reached from the Golden Horde in the north to the Himalayas. With such a vast empire, Mongols became exposed to many different cultures, religions, innovations, and ideas. The accessible Silk Road encouraged travelers to spread their ideas with others. During the Pax Mongolica, most Mongols followed their native shamanism. Because the Mongols practiced religious tolerance within the empire, many were influenced by the religions of conquered peoples. For example, Mongols living in Turkish areas may have been influenced to convert to Islam and adopt Islamic values and traditions into their culture.
Amazing! It seems that the mass integration of religions, cultural traditions, and abstract ideas greatly impacted the Mongol Empire during the Pax Mongolica. Thank you so much, Katie, for stopping by our show and sharing your knowledge with us.
My pleasure. Great to be here.
Next up, we have Audrey Dickinson, a historian from the University of Arizona. She will be teaching us about the ways in which the Mongols connected with other parts of the world. Welcome, Audrey.
It's great to be here. Thank you for having me on your show.
I understand you have been studying the Pax Mongolica as well. Would you mind sharing with us how the Mongols created connections with their empires to unify one of the largest empires in history?
The Mongols were able to connect areas from China all the way to Turkey and Western Eurasia by use of trade routes and the spread of ideas. As Katie explained, the Silk Road running throughout the empire served as a physical link between territories. Venetian merchant Marco Polo stated that from the city of Kambalu, there were many roads and highways leading to the different provinces. The safe roads and the postal relay system allowed for an abundance of trade and interaction between many merchants. Marco Polo described it as a marvelous system, so effective that one can scarcely describe or write about it. Convenience of travel encouraged the exchange of goods, beliefs, and traditions, which in turn promoted cross-cultural integration. Mongols also connected different parts of Eurasia through innovations that promoted uniformity within the empire. Mongol administrators promoted commerce by establishing merchant-friendly policies. Khans bought goods at prices above the original selling price and made beneficial loans to merchants. Trade partnerships, called ortaks, allowed merchants to invest money and receive interest. Mongols organized various industries and facilitated the transfer of goods via moving artisans to areas where their work was needed. Artisans who were moved from one location to another allowed for the interchange of methods of production and artistic techniques. These policies and actions helped bring merchants from across Eurasia to the Mongol court and created good relations between the people and the rulers. Using trade, merchants developed alliances with settled people, further connecting the citizens of the empire. By establishing useful roads that physically linked the empire, promoting commerce, and integrating merchant and sedentary ways of life, the Mongol Empire successfully connected Eurasia and East Asia during the Pax Mongolica.
How interesting. Well, I think that wraps us up for today. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on the Great Eurasian History Show.